ESPN.com top 100 NBA players of all time with Wilt number 5, Magic 4, LeBron 3, Kareem 2, MJ at number 1. But is LeBron a top 3 player of all time already? We want you guys to weigh in. Make your take count by voting yes or no in our Twitter poll here, and we'll have those results for you a little later in the show. Freddie Coleman still here with us. So tell us, what do you think? Is King James a top 3 player of all time?
Right now, no. Not to me. My top 5 would be MJ, Magic, Kareem, Wilt, and Bird. Those are my top 5.
MJ, Magic, Kareem, Wilt,
and Bird.
Okay.
I'm not saying LeBron James won't be a top 5 at the rate he's going when his career is over. Then we'll have a different conversation as far as I'm concerned. But I just look at the 5 guys I mentioned. Not saying LeBron's not transcendent, but all those 5 guys were transcendent the minute that they got to the NBA. Magic, what he did his first year with the Lakers. Bird became that big man who could break your heart with shots from the outside. Wilt Chamberlain averaging over 50 points per game. That's never going to be broken in the history of the NBA. 100 points in one game. People say, well, he was bigger than everybody else. Okay, why haven't we seen that since? The closest Kobe Bryant getting 81. MJ, I mean, you don't need to say anything about him. And for my money, I don't think Magic gets enough credit for what kind of clutch player he was. He was clutch from the minute he got to the Lakers. I mean, Kareem's going to get a lot of credit. I think sometimes Kareem's underappreciated because I think the further and further we get away from Captain Skyhook, I don't think people really appreciate that he had the single most definable shot in the history of the NBA. LeBron, I love the fact that he encompasses, he needs that MJ killer instinct at times. I think sometimes he defers too much, but I'd rather a guy try to make the play, even if it's for somebody else. I can live with that with your LeBron James, but at a certain point you got to find out what MJ figured out. You got to be selfish at those points. I think right now he's not a top 5 player, just my opinion. I would take those 5 guys over him. But if he keeps going like this and he gets another ring or 2, and I think that's necessary, then we're having a different conversation about LeBron James. But for my money, I know it's subjective, he's not a top 5 player right now.
I can't tell you how much I agree with what you just said. I was dumbfounded when I saw this list. I have been condemned for years on this show for being a LeBron critic, but I am only a late game, big game LeBron critic. In general, he's as gifted a basketball player as I have ever seen, and I made the case yesterday. He's Peyton-esque in that he's becoming the greatest regular season Peyton quarterback, but in this case, basketball player ever, because he has the gift of passing the basketball to go with all the other gifts that he has. He's not much of a shooter, and as we speak, he is the worst three-point shooter by percentage in the whole NBA as we speak. And I still don't know. He drives me nuts watching him. He just takes too many threes. His argument is, I got to keep people honest so they don't get up in me, you know, like I got to make them respect my jump shot. Okay, I get that, but he's just not much of a three-point shooter. He's made himself into a very respectable free throw shooter, but I don't want to see him on the line with 2 seconds left needing to make 2 to tie or, you know, like even 1 out of 2 to win the game. It's like hide your eyes. Okay, so there's no way. I'm going to give him this. I have him 10th in my top 10. Okay, well, that's, and I have Kobe 9th. So Kobe, LeBron.
I'd take Kobe over LeBron.
All right,
yeah,
fine.
That's fair.
Okay, but big picture, and again, I don't want to pile on LeBron right now, but can we just speak the truth here? LeBron James, as we speak, is 2 and 4 in the NBA Finals, and I can't erase the 4. I can't undercut them. I can't sweep them under our carpet here. There are 4 losses in the Finals that easily should have been 5 losses, because my San Antonio Spurs, Game 6 at Miami, it's a done deal.
That still eats at you, doesn't it?
And LeBron James is coming apart down the stretch. He has 3 big turnovers in the last 2 minutes of the game. He is on the hook to be the GOAT of the game, not the GOAT, like greatest of all time. He is going to be the literal animal GOAT, as we would say, of the game, right? And Ray Allen saved
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Oh, he was Jesus Shuttlesworth. He was that guy. That's as great a clutch shot as I have ever witnessed, and it just ripped my guts out. I just fell on, you know, I just couldn't believe what I just saw. And it saved LeBron because it forced overtime. Obviously, they won in overtime, and then LeBron was great in Game 7. It was a tour de force by all of them, including Dwayne Wade, and we know what happened. But LeBron was very close within that clutch shot of being 1 and 5 in the NBA Finals. And he had an all-time meltdown against Dallas that I can't erase. He did that, and he's lost these other finals. We can say he didn't have enough help, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So I don't understand the LeBron love. Is he a great guy? Is he a great ambassador? Is he the face of the NBA? I give you all that. Does that make him third on the all-time list? On off the court, the way he carries and handles himself? Is that what we're talking about?
I think that's a lot of it with LeBron James. That may be the main point of it.
Yeah.
The one thing, to your point about what he was in Game 7 of that series, that's the LeBron I want to see all the time, and here's why. He played unafraid in that game. He played as if he had a new lease on life because he knows that Miami got away with one by what they were able to do in Game 6. That's the LeBron James I want to see, because the other 5 I mentioned, they never worried about making the perfect play. It was about trying to make a play and deal with whatever the consequences were going to be. Prime example, Magic Johnson, the junior sky hook. It could have been very easy for him to wait for Kareem or wait for James Worthy. They were getting their butts kicked by the Boston Celtics in Game 4 on the road. He said, I'm not waiting for these guys. And he took over that game. He was unafraid and not worried about how it was going to look or what people are going to say. And nothing against being too sensitive. I mean, everybody can't be overly sensitive or have undersensitivity. I think LeBron James worries too much about what is going to be talked about with him with the end result.
Doubt.
And you can't do that at a certain point. If you're going to be this ambassador, you can't have all that attention around you, and then when things don't go right, then you make excuses, because no one wants to hear that if you're celebrated as LeBron James. Either get it done or don't get it done, and handle it, or you're going to be handled. I want to see that LeBron James from this point on, the way he played in Game 7. You know what? I did the best I could. I went out there and I balled out. It didn't work out for me, so be it. But don't try to say, well, I didn't have help. Well, we didn't have this. Well, I was tired. Because they were up 2-1 against Golden State. If they had won that series, what would we have said? What a great tour de force this was for LeBron James. They were up 2-1, and I had every Cavaliers fan getting on my nerves on Twitter. The minute that they got down in that series, it was like LeBron slumped his shoulder and said, well, you know, that's it. I wanted to see that guy in Game 7 in that series.
LeBron had Game 4 in his house to go up 3-1. And he just came up flat. It was just, even Stephen A., who loves LeBron, which I respect.
And I'm a LeBron fan, too.
Sure, I know, I got it. But it was just, he just didn't show up that night. For whatever reason, emotionally flat in that game. So quickly to finish, okay, on top 5. I'm with you, obviously, on Jordan. I'm the biggest Jordan fan on the planet. Magic's number 2. I think Shaquille O'Neal doesn't get enough respect as the most dominant offensive force for about a 3 to 4 year period in there I have ever seen. Unstoppable. Not that much fun to watch. Could be a little hard on the eyes sometimes. He was the diesel, but I have him 3rd ahead of Kareem. And then the great Bill Russell. When you win 11 championships in 13 years, I know it's back in the, you know, the old
the dark
prehistoric days. You know, I get it.
But it's 11 rings.
11 rings.
11 and 13.
I'm sorry.
11 and 13 years.
So I got that, and I got him. Look, Wilt, as an individual player, it was just like spellbinding to watch him. And I'm old enough to remember some of Wilt. I mean, he ran track at Kansas at like 7-1. He ran track, okay? And he scored 100 points in a game in Hershey, Pennsylvania. But he was 2-4 in the finals, and so it's LeBron-esque to me, so I can't quite go top 5 there.
Well, with Wilt, he was born at the wrong time. If he wasn't born at the same time as Bill Russell, we're having a different conversation. Sometimes, I mean,
Russell kind of owned him.
Yeah, but Russell had better players. Look at the Hall of Famers he played with compared to Wilt when Wilt was in Philadelphia. That does make a difference. Wilt had the best teams when he got to the Los Angeles Lakers, when he had Jerry West and Gail Goodrich and Elgin Baylor for a couple of years. But sometimes a team is better than you and they know how to win. Wilt never learned how to win. Skip had started in college, playing at Kansas. They were supposed to beat North Carolina.
They were supposed to.
Wind up losing that ball game. And I'm hoping that's not the case for LeBron, because there's a guy in the league right now that plays unafraid, and his name is Steph Curry. Last year, we could not have the conversation that Steph Curry was on the same line with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kobe, you know, at times Kobe Bryant when he was healthy. We can have that conversation now because look how unafraid he plays. And when things got tight in that series last year, I thought the series turned in the 4th quarter, Game 3. Even though they lost, he woke up. And when Steph Curry woke up, he stayed awake the rest of the series, and he was hitting those kind of shots.
That's true. He did wake up.
He did wake up.
For a while, we were talking about Delly as a Steph stopper.
Stopper. The minute he had that 4th quarter and he's making those shots, I said, man, I wanted the series turn in this game.
You're right.
Even though they lost Game 3, that series turned. That's the LeBron I want to see, because I looked at Steph Curry last night, 26, 9 and 9. He plays, look, I'm going to make a play one way or the other. LeBron has too much talent, too much ability to worry about what people are going to think if things don't work out for him.
Got it.
So neither of you have LeBron LeBron in your top 5. You have him at 10, and you have him in your top 10, though, just not.
I have Kobe at 8. I have LeBron at 9.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Freddie, thank you so much for being
My
with us.
pleasure. Always
This
good
was
seeing
fun.
you, too.
Yes.
Absolutely.